Let's play a little game. Here are 5 stat averages for the 5 best rookies in the NBA right now, and I want you to guess which stat line belongs to the overwhelming Rookie of the Year favorite, Cooper Flagg. If you guessed any of these, you would be incorrect because Cooper's averages are a little further down here. Yeah. 2 weeks ago, Cooper Flagg was not only the runaway favorite for Rookie of the Year by a country mile, but he was also crowned the successor to Luka before a single minute had been played. Now that we're about 3 weeks into the NBA season, let's check in on how that obvious award pick looks, and yeah, not great. In fact, even the preseason number 2 for the Rookie of the Year, Ace Bailey, he has looked so bad that he's already getting Cody Williams comparisons, as in the Cody Williams who just had one of the worst seasons by a top 10 pick in the history of basketball last year. So if all of these top talents look to be crumbling, then why are analysts calling this one of the best draft classes of the 21st century? Well, that's because it is. From Dylan Harper to Cedric Coward to even Cooper's teammate at Duke, Con Knipple, it may seem like the entire lottery was loaded with future All-Stars, and in the case of VJ Edgecombe, maybe even current All-Stars. We've got a lot to cover with which rookies have played the best 3 weeks into the season, which rookie I think will take home the award, and the answer to is Cooper Flagg already a bust, a letdown? We'll get into all that in just a second, but first, a word from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by nobody. It's just me again, begging you to subscribe. I want to hit 10K subscribers by the end of the year, and I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. I mean, you like basketball, right, man? Or when? It doesn't matter your gender. You like basketball. You're watching this video. Sorry, that's enough begging. Just please subscribe. Anyways, let's get right into the video. So for starters, this might be one of the best guard classes of all time. I'll just come right out and say it. What Dylan Harper has been able to do as just a rookie for the Spurs is absolutely incredible. The Spurs are 5-1, and even though people assumed that the crowded backcourt of D. Fox and Steph Castle would severely limit Harper's role in year number 1, Dylan Harper has been such a great facilitating guard off the bench who takes a lot of that playmaking pressure off of Wemby. And even Castle and De'Aaron Fox isn't even back yet, but when Fox returns, I do expect Harper to be getting a little bit less production, but he's absolutely dominated his role thus far and shown that he will be a key piece to the Spurs championship window in a few years, and he is undoubtedly legit. That stuff that people were saying about him being a number 1 pick in every single other draft class except this one was honestly valid. He has proven that he is worth that title. Jeremiah Fears, Trey Johnson, and Cedric Coward have added to the prestige of the guards in this class, the best young shooting guards in the league this season. We knew Trey was gonna be an incredible slasher out in Washington to run some schemes around Alex Sarr and Keyshawn George, and Jeremiah Fears has looked great on short minutes in New Orleans. Notice how I said Jeremiah Fears and not New Orleans in general, because it's a shit show over there right now, just to be honest with you. But he's been absolutely elite minus that game against the Celtics, and he is dangerous when his shot is falling. He just needs to work a little bit more around the perimeter. Someone who needs zero work around the perimeter, however, is Cedric Coward. This man has been absolutely lights out so far for the Grizzlies. He burst onto the scene a few weeks ago, shooting 6 for 6 from 3 against the Pacers, and even in more recent games when he hasn't even attempted a 3, he's still kept up his production and been an insanely solid defender. He has shown flashes of being yet another just good player for the Grizzlies. They've been stockpiling and developing just really good NBA players for years with JJJ, Desmond Bane, Jalen Wells, even Ja. And Cedric Coward is just simply going to be another great draft selection for them. I would absolutely love to praise the Grizzlies front office had they have done any good things in the playoffs since a few years ago. But hey, I really liked this Coward pick when you first made it, and it has proven to be a great one, Grizzlies fans. And then we get to, of course, the crown jewel, VJ Edgecombe. We knew VJ Edgecombe was going to be good, right? And eventually be almost like a Victor Oladipo kind of figure, but we had no idea he was going to be Victor Oladipo out of the package in minute 1 of his NBA career. This man has been absolutely ridiculous thus far for the 76ers, silencing any and all pre-draft concerns about his decision-making and his three-point shot. He's just looked great. He's already shown that he's one of the best slashing guards in the sport, can work and produce around a ball-dominant scoring guard like Maxey, so he's going to fit perfectly fine when McCain returns, and most importantly, he's been such a great defender that I'm shocked it took so late in the draft cycle for his stock to rise. I was hesitant seeing VJ Edgecombe climb big boards before the draft, seeing him get inflated more and more and more without playing any games just off of pure hype and his archetype, and it made me remember how incredibly disappointed I was in Scoot Henderson being a flop under this same kind of notion. But when he came out and pulled out this shit in his first NBA game,
crash to glass, Celtics trying to create more shooting opportunities with rebounding. That's how you can do it. Oh man, Edgecombe like 10.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, a tear might have rolled down my face and my leg. It was beautiful to see. And finally, we have Con Knipple. Honestly, he could be my favorite out of these rookies. He has just been everything the Hornets have needed for the past couple years. He's a lights out shooter. He's great from the mid-range. He is one of the most NBA ready role player pieces from year one that we have seen in a while. And he won't even be a role player. He will be a key contributor to this team on scoring, on defense, on transition, and he just brings consistency around LaMelo, which is something that the Hornets have desperately been craving for years now. I am super high on Con Knipple. Seeing him at Duke last year, it was obvious that he was just a perfect fit for the NBA, and I'm so glad that LaMelo finally has a teammate that is consistent. But enough about one Duke guy. Let's move on to the Duke guy. Let's talk about Cooper Flagg. How bad has he actually been? Well, he's been pretty solid, a double-double kind of guy, and he even has a 20-point night, but he's been extremely inefficient, and his game against the Thunder was one of the most abysmal first-round pick performances we've ever seen, let alone first overall pick. Sometimes it feels like he can't buy a bucket and doesn't want to stop shooting, or he just refuses to shoot when he was praised on being an uber-confident offensive facilitator as well as an incredibly talented defender. And I wouldn't say his defense has been bad thus far, but it isn't Cooper Flagg level. Matter of fact, that's where we find our issue here. His defense isn't Cooper Flagg level, his three-point shot isn't, his scoring isn't, his playmaking isn't. Everything about him isn't up to Cooper Flagg standard, but what is Cooper Flagg standard? You see, too often in such a star narrative-driven league do we jump to conclusions. We label every prospect north of the border a generational talent. We only show their greatest highlights and stat lines and refuse to let them have bad games. We refuse to let them merge into the NBA at their own pace. We refuse to let them learn the league without being an all-star out of the gate. And some players do have the capacity to do that. Like, for example, VJ. He was shot out of a cannon ready to contribute from the jump because his slashing guard skill set is one that the 76ers staff is uber familiar with and one that integrates seamlessly into this kind of NBA. But the Mavs haven't had a player like Cooper Flagg, at least not for over a decade, and he's proven to be a lot more of a raw prospect than we'd assume. His game doesn't immediately translate perfectly because it's focused a lot around low-value shots instead of getting to the free throw line like Edgecombe or sniping high-value shots like Cedric Coward and Con Knipple. He's playing a dead breed of basketball, and it will take development to get Flagg making the right NBA plays before he's ready to be putting on generational all-NBA upside type performances again. But here's the kicker. Are you ready? Everyone is so quick to label Flagg a bust for not being what he was promised as in month number 1, but he is supposed to be in college right now. No, not a sophomore. He is supposed to be a freshman. He is 18 years old. Cooper Flagg was born in 2006, and he dropped 22 points in an NBA game, even a double-double. He has been holding his own, and that is something we cannot take for granted. Yeah, he's no Wemby dropping 40-10 games in month 1 at 18 years old, or LeBron being in MVP talks at 18 years old, but that's simply because he isn't generational. He's not in the GOAT debate, and he never will be, and that is okay. Jason Tatum wasn't generational out of the box. Giannis wasn't generational out of the box. Jokic, Embiid, Luka even. Maybe not Luka, but stop comparing Flagg to Luka. Social media and short-form content have such a grip on the NBA because it's a highlight and star-driven league. The two merge perfectly, but the consequence to that is that everything is exaggerated and moves way too quickly. Every top prospect is suddenly the best prospect ever. Every great game is suddenly the greatest game ever, and every bad game is treated like the entire career of an NBA player, despite it being just 1 out of 82 games, as if it even matters at all in the grand scheme of things. We move on and jump to conclusions way too quickly, and I think that the magnifying glass being added on that it's the first month of the NBA season makes things seem way more dire than they are. VJ is good, but he isn't great yet. Flagg has gotten off to a slow start, but he will find his footing. And Wemby, I mean, we are already taking him for granted. I'm looking back at this. He averaged 21 and 10 with 4 blocks at 19 years old, coming right into the NBA. Are you kidding me? In the end, give Cooper a break. And if you ask me my honest take, I think he will definitely adjust in the second half of the season and still come out on top as the Rookie of the Year. That's my take. Thank you for watching, and subscribe. It's free.